it's a heat wave in the UK, like mid-20s. Yeah, but I was like pretty crazy. It hit 30, and then your train tracks are exploding. Um, let's see if I can find that. Uh, yeah, I found it. So, uh, this is the article. Okay, so shit. Can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry. It's just it looks like my Wi-Fi turned off, and then I'm like, how am I still in? But that's all cool. Okay, so we'll kick things off. We may as well kick things off now. So for anyone that's new here, just to introduce myself. So I'm WoahJonny, the artist behind Pad, and basically run these like once a week, where I'll focus on a particular asset on something I'm working on. With today, I'm actually going to be going back to Illustrator just to kind of mix things up a little bit and show you a process like that. This is what I used Illustrator mainly when we were doing the Gen 1, but now I've been using predominantly Photoshop and raster images. However, certain assets they're better to be created in Illustrator. And what I've found as well is even with the Gen 2, even though most of it is done in Illustrator, there's certain aspects that I'll still do in still done in Photoshop. I'll do it in Illustrator and bring it in because I like it nice and crisp. So as an example, these are some of the glasses that you've seen in the sneaks, which I'm actually really like how these turned out. But because I just wanted them to be like really, really crisp, so I've done them in Illustrator. So today I'm just going to show you basically how I go about turning a sketch like this into some really, really crisp designs like this. Also, I will, for the POAPs as well, I'll be giving you the secret phrase in a little bit, but I will say it a few times during the live session. So without further ado, we'll kick things off. Also as well, remember you guys can jump in the chat. You can chat to me in Indigo as well. And yeah, throw stuff up in the chat if you want. It's up to you. So what I usually do is I will put the base image down there and just drop the opacity right down and then create another layer over the top. Also, the good thing is, again, by having all these grasses here, I can keep the line weight kind of similar. So because majority of this as well is a mirror image, we really only have to kind of work on one side and then just flip it over. So we'll create a circle, and again, I will just keep the line weight down really low, so that I can thicken it later. But this way, it allows me to make sure everything's really, really flush with each other. So my sketch is a little bit off, but that's okay. Now, what we'll do is I'm just going to use different colors so I can see where it's sitting. We're just going to add these like kind of embellishments here. So this is kind of just these will be like kind of part of the frame, and this bit here we're going to kind of like wrap them outwards. But I hope everyone's having a great day wherever you are. How's your week been? You good? Okay, okay. There you go. That's all right. What are you having for lunch anyway? No, no. Uh, are you a breakfast guy? Because I'm not really a breakfast guy. I was reading I was reading an article that they say breakfast actually might not be that good for you. They always say it's the most important meal of the day, but they actually recommend it. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I think sometimes as well, the reason I'm not a breakfast guy as well, I'm not a morning person, so I just can't deal with creating a breakfast. Um, yeah, that is true actually. Um, that's it. That's it. End of the crawl. Okay. Yeah. Um, oh, speaking of alcohol, they've already sold out, but again, I was reading an article that there's this like hangover pill, this new like wonder hangover pill called Merkel or something. It's manufactured in the UK, I think, or Sweden, or it's available in the UK. And apparently it actually really works. Like it doesn't complete. So basically, the main reason why you get hangovers is to do obviously with dehydration and stuff, but something with the way it breaks down creates this acid or something. Anyway, basically, you take this pill an hour before you go out or going to have a heavy drinking session, and then it will break down like 70% of the alcohol you've drunk with like as you're going. So I just read, yeah, I don't know, but there's something where it's like something to do. There's something to do with and something to do with the way it breaks down. So I read reports that the guy was like, he had like 9 beers or something and was hungover. He had to go work the next day, so he was testing it on purpose to see how he was. And he woke up and he just said like, yeah, he definitely did feel a bit dusty and stuff, but nowhere near like what he would normally feel with that amount of alcohol. And yeah, so it could be a bit of a yeah, okay. What is activated carbon? Other answers saying yeah, okay. I've always felt yeah the only cure is to drink a fuckload of water, but I usually try and do it at the very end of the night. So I'll just come home and just drink and drink and drink and drink a jug of water. But then halfway through the night, I'll wake up. Yeah, yeah, Oh shit. Uh, so we're laying down all the. We just turn off this latest to set settings. It's pretty cool. So we might work on this section by adjusting the colors and stuff and align out in a second, then move on to the next bit. Because you can kind of sometimes like I'll chunk it into parts. So this bit's quite in the foreground, and we can add stuff later. Make it easier. So just unlock basic that's actually actually yeah, we'll just do this. So part of these lines are going to I'm going to basically cut and rejoin some of these lines. So we'll put it there. So basically what I do is I just put an anchor point, use the direct selection tool, and you delete. Delete that one. Do the same here. That midway down. Really, I should just create another line that's and then I will jump to one line. Go straight. So this was a little bit off. We also want to try and match the length of the bevel and bottom. So we'll just zoom in here and make sure it's all connected. And shape that up a little bit. Now the same will have to be done up here. So we will make sure it's connected there. Cut it there, and we are going to cut it all the way down. Go to the slide. Just put a few anchor points. Press average, bring them together, join them up. Average basically, if you have two lines, like say if you like there, 2 points, and you press average, we'll bring them together into the most even part. So here, just make sure. So especially with like curved lines, you don't want to just join them because then you don't want to have like too many unnecessary anchor points because it will like kind of subtly subtly throw the shape off a little bit. It's the less anchor points in lines, the smoother they are, and vice versa. Usually the more jagged they are, and reshapes them like this. I'm just gonna lock this one. I think more. Okay, set. So again, you can see like I have to admit, like I do like doing the collection more in Illustrator, in Photoshop because I don't have to be so exact. set them on options for this. There. And there is a line kind of under here. Now that all the lines are basically down, then we're just going to pick them up. So I'm pretty sure from her for yeah. So the biggest ones are going to be main frame would be 1 millimeter thick. Which seems to be big, but more so that. I think it's just looks big because something like that. And a little bit smaller will be 75. Cool. That's between 75 and 9. And I'll make this one 1 or actually 0.8. Okay, so now that the lineup is basically down, we can change this to black and start working in the tapering. So tapering is just getting a width tool and just tapering these edges. Also, I might just trim this on a little bit. We don't want to too far in. Tapering. Yeah. That's pretty cool. This one I might actually just allow it to 0.8 down. Just bring these edges in a little bit. Pull in the details, guys. Okay, so that's pretty all right. This I might just up a little bit. That should be joined. Maybe that's it. When you join a new lineup, changes it back to its basic appearance, which is just like line. Also, guys, it's nearly approaching the halfway point, so I'm going to double check. I know what. Yeah, the secret word is actually. Yeah, I'm just going to put it as an image just to see if anyone can get what it is. So that might be a clue. What do you guys reckon it is in the chat? Very famous hit song. Just going to put this in always here. Yeah, so POAP for the POAP password, it is pineapple pen. Chart topper. That's it. That's correct. Can we put those to 5? Okay. This one is here. The one thing I do like using Illustrator is I can really adjust the width of my lines exactly how I want them as I go. Also, guys, just want you guys' opinions in the chat. which ones do you like the most? Are this the love hearts or the rainbow glasses? Drop your answer in the chat just to see. Because I know even though the hearts are girly, I quite like, but quite like heart. There will be approximately 130 in terms of what we're evolving. Also, as well, guys, I think we'll be either doing it tomorrow or over the weekend. I did talk about this on Shroom Sundays briefly. So we do have enough kind of assets together that have evolved to kind of get a good feel of what the Gen 2 will look like. As I said, in the sense that like they're all together from the different classes. However, even though the Gen 2 is always supposed to be me in my most unrestrained form, that we've had a meeting and we have kind of raised concerns that maybe I'm going too unrestrained. So we are going to kind of run a bit of a poll. So I'm going to put some examples of the Gen 2, so like a kind of full reveal of a few of them. And we'll run a poll, basically just seeing your guys' thoughts, because as a community, I want to create stuff that you guys really enjoy and like. And I do know that there's a lot of people that like kind of cleaner aesthetic. So basically with the poll, you can choose between kind of saying like, yep, Johnny, just try and dial it back a little bit, or maintain course as is, or if you want me to go even crazier, you can select that as well. But I just want to kind of see what the feel is. So just watch out for that poll. I'll make it soon anyway, and just get involved with that. I do know though, like from the start when I did the first asset, the tongue, I definitely went overboard with it. So it's kind of been tricky to find like a balancing act. But I just want to see your guys' opinions, because I wouldn't be here drawing every day without you guys. So I want to make sure that it's something that you guys are going to be glad to have. Okay, now we are going to add some color. We've got rainbow glasses and love. Okay, Ozbot, love hearts, nice. The rainbow glasses are cool though. I'm actually thinking when I was doing the rainbows, it's starting to have a bit of a steampunk vibe. So I think with the hippie glasses, I want to try and create some kind of like a steampunk inspired glasses. Like, I'm sure you guys have example. I think it would be cool to have something like this, like steampunk, kind of like some cogs and almost like dystopian Mad Max goggles. But get back to these guys. So what we might do is, which one do we grab? Oh shit, that's it. Now we'll create a color layer below. There's the color layer there. Now, what I'll do is I'll drop the line right down to like 5 to show you a little patch, expand the appearance. So just to expand it again, so it's all like this. Then you basically use a pathfinder, and what it does, if you see here, see how these are shapes, yes, that blue gets connected. If you click pathfinder, it connects them all. So now it's like one entire shape. You can actually stroke it like this, so it can be, something like that. But what I do is I just delete the inside and just pop a yellow from that, and then that we've got the shape instead of having me go all the way in. Okay, so I do like the idea of having goldish glasses, and it does kind of fight back what we do like. Much else turn that off. And to open us swap it. Get some colors in there. And we're choose the now gold. Okay. Now what we can do is we can add my that's what is disappointing. Oh, I have one, sorry. I should have a pop them. Now we can, I'm just going to put those as orange. I'm just going to draw all these in first as like one color. We can adjust them. Yeah, that. But yeah, the evolved collection is looking pretty insane and crazy, and I like it. But again, I'm kind of my taste is like more is more, but also with the evolve, it was always going to be me going a bit crazy. However, I just want to see, I do know there's a lot of people that like the really clean ones, so it's like I just want to see what your guys' opinions. Yeah, so it will open up, yeah, for half an hour after the live. Okay, so now with this, right, we can kind of opt for something like this. Basically it's a mixture of some different oranges and yellows to make it a really gold look. Or, we kind of part of this to me honestly reminds me a little bit of like, looks a bit like anything you call corn or something. We can play around with some different kind of colors, also spicy once more early assets in here, so let's do something like this. Just going to pick out some random colors. I'm going to ask you guys if we can do a few things as we go. Maybe recording nice. Okay, so just going to get these colors, colors to play around. So just to see what things might look like. I think if we do one thing, it would be like we have some gold and then just a couple of colors, not have it too crazy. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think we should opt for something like this, where it's like the majority of the embellishments are like a gold with maybe some bright colors, maybe the horn with a color, or do we make it a bit more all colorful? What do you guys think? Typing, you can type in the chat. Okay. That's pretty cool. Multicolored vibes. Try teal. Okay. So, I mean, these colors would adjusted as well. Actually, below that. And then we have some of, yeah. I quite like the teal as well. I don't know, it's just suggests teal, and then he doesn't want it anymore. What? Sorry. Just adjust these. Okay, I like. Okay, so this bottom bit, pink or purple, pink or purple, pink, purple, pink, purple, pink, purple. I'm leaning towards purple. If no one says anything, they're going to keep it purple. OG Silverback. Yeah, maybe purple. Okay. Okay, so we can't be stuck on this for too long, but I think these colors are pretty good. So now what we do, we just remember as well, we do need to add some little gemstones and some stuff like that, but we can come to that later. We actually might not do the shading yet until we got everything down pat. Now, what? Like, this. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll just pop this in here like this. Adjust it in a sec. And we will add some shine to it, but we can also just play around with the colors here. So we'll go straight to the grading. We've just got different gradings. I think what would be cool is if we kind of match the perspective on this here. No, light blue. Or you go pink and a purple. Okay, I think it's down to like a bluey. We're trying to like also draw colors another way of using. So I think it's down to like this kind of sapphire teal blue or the purple. What do you guys think? So the pink level might bounce a bit more because the blue is too close to it. Or keep it like that, we guess them. That or like that. That. Purple. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm trying to paste the actually I'm gonna go with this one. And we'll this. Purple, hard purple like this, and just drop it through the pass. I keep grabbing one off thing. Just lock these layers. So I don't know why, but I think on that. Just to create some shine, this bad boy. Put this off, put the transparency. That doesn't make sense. Just going to position up here. Suffocate. A nice little gemstone. And we can, I'm just going to steal all these ones. A little bit of it. Oh, that looks pretty. Yeah, so it's like it's like gray, just to give it a bit of dimension. Yeah, so that's kind of done. Now we are going to show you guys a little bit what it will start to look like. So it's starting to come together. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we create a layer below. We will just focus on this a little bit here. So this is like, might just create a symmetry line, so I know what I'm working on. Layer. And I'm just going to put in some base shapes to give them that load up. Olsen, go there. Paste another one in there, just offset it, paste another offset it. Move that to the line there. Okay, now this is like a bit of a rainbow, so we should go like this. So we'll put a nice bevel, and we'll chop it out like that, and we'll just drop it down each time. Nice big bevel, maybe too much of a big bevel. This. We want it to be like a center horizontal curve. It means that we join perfectly with each other and curve really well. Just now, that makes Y. Drop these below, like that. It's still how it looks. Pretty okay to me. Okay. So you can see as well, like I will show you guys a sneak peek as well at the end. Also, guys, sorry, I'm saying a lot of things. Again, keyword is pineapple pen, pineapple pen. I will show you guys a sneak peek of something as well at the end. But you can see as well, using Illustrator can get a bit laborious, but I'm glad that the majority of the stuff I'm doing is in Photoshop again. But I'll show you something in Photoshop with Photoshop. I'm going to do these as 7. This one can be 65. Should pop that numbers back. 65. This can be 75. Or this one can be 25. And these are going to be one. This one will actually be obviously at the top. I'm trying to play for the last 2 CS, but I'll look in the link. Okay. Now with the colors here, on the profile. Yeah, so I was thinking this does look like full rainbow. Simply that's what it would look like. I just want to make sure these are all feel the same. Font. And we just add some colors in there. We have a rainbow palette, a glitter palette. I just want this palette ready because purple. It's not obviously the full, so I've got the full spectrum of it, but when it's only 5 colors, I just loosen it up a little bit, or much. So you don't include like orange or the light blue, kind of. Yeah, it looks like we're sticking one each side. Oh, that's why I was doing that. It was like very dragged, full drag. Okay, so this pyramid. What we'll do is, I'm just going to, just for the time being, just so we can balance the colors a bit better. I'm just going to lock these. Yeah, so this pyramid, my first instinct was to make it like a goldy orange, or something like that. But we can go, an entirely different color. Like we can bring in the teal, bring in like a light blue, something that's like not around the rainbow. Thing is, if you do it like red stuff, the stuff to blend, I think you're going to really have to choose between the light blue, the teal, or we carry the kind of the gold feeling. What do you guys feel? I'm just going to keep cycling through these colors, and I'll check the chat in a second. So it's like a light blue, looks pretty cool. Teal, which is basically arcing to the horns to the right, or we just carry the gold feel again. OG's on the gold. Gold. Okay. 2 golds is all I need. So then with that, then I'm going to carry the same, but just when it comes to like adding gold stuff, I just use different, like slightly different shades. So it's like so it starts to look a bit mixed. Is that really strong? Yellow. I like it. I'm just checking. Yeah, it's good. Now this could be something like loves drawing. Yeah, I mean I was always kind of self-taught, so I just loved drawing, right? So I had a few like there's like I had a like how to be a cartoonist book and stuff when I was younger, but what I found is like it sometimes restricts you to like their style. You want them to develop their own style. So a couple of things that, especially if he's younger, is I know like people like don't trace and stuff like that, but sometimes tracing like pictures that he likes is good for him to kind of get a feel of like how like he has to figure out how the picture's actually constructed. But one of the biggest things that I ever got when I was younger that I'm glad I did is if he likes drawing, get him to like just keep everything. Like have sketchbooks, have a folder where you like every like even the shit like this is one thing as an artist that we sometimes do is like we get ashamed of our shitty drawings or our mistakes and stuff. But you want to keep like a morgue. They basically called it a morgue. So keep a morgue everything that he draws on. Because one as he gets better, he'll like looking at his progress of his old stuff. And it's just like that kind of practice. Just keep practicing. But I would say like there's definitely some good books on. There's good books on like learning certain techniques that are still used today, like creating something, like creating base shapes and drawing up from stick figures and stuff. It depends how young he is, but I would definitely say it's like just getting to absorb as much art that he likes, and also just like keep everything, like literally keep everything. Howl's Moving Castle, yeah, that's a good movie. These glasses are pretty cool. I'm actually pretty stoked for these. Um, Now I'm gonna probably put an eye in here or something, but I like it. So we can have it again orange, but I think like put it in that blue would be cool. Um, oh, to be honest with you, like the one thing is pencil and the Procreate is really fun as well. Like Procreate is a fun tool that he can play around. Um, I wish I had Procreate when I was younger as well, because the good thing with Procreate is he can learn like he can learn painting and stuff without having to mess your whole house up. Um, but and to be honest with you as well, like everything, if it's something he pursues when he's older, he's grown up learning the programs, it will help. I was self-taught like Photoshop when I was in high school, so I just used to I had Photoshop like years ago, and I used to just buy um, back then buy like Photoshop magazines and just follow the tutorials on creating stuff, and that was a really really big help. But um, yeah, I would say just get him drawing as much as he can, and obviously just encourage him. Like everything he does is great and stuff like that. The encouragement is the biggest thing, and I think it's also why like some people stop drawing when they're older is we're our own worst critics. Like we be like, oh, it doesn't look good or whatever. When it's like, no, like it's just different style, and the act of creating is fun and joyous. Just go with it. Whereas I think sometimes kids like they're really creative because they don't really give a shit. They're just like, I'll draw anything, and they'll draw really wild things. Yeah, we are approaching the uh, 3 o'clock, so I also don't want to encroach on the safe space with Patty or Spicy and the other girls. So we'll start to wrap things up. But basically, the next step would obviously just be to add some lenses in, which would be kind of like lower opacity stuff. So these, if you see as well, these glasses, uh, they have like a low opacity at the back, so this is you can see the stuff. Um, in the background, similar to the hearts. You be able to see that. And also as well, add the shading in. So the shading is just adding in shapes like this at a low opacity and blending them in. And that's like the final bit that will just give it a lot of dimension. But what I will do is I'm just going to copy this, just bring it into Illustrator instead of having to go. I might have to go to Photoshop. I'm just going to do a screenshot, pull it in. Okay, get a little bit not the best quality. I will show you guys a little sneak peek of something. So ignore the center of the face. The center, I'm going to show you guys a body, but you don't see as much of that. But I always still believe in creating a whole piece. Like it's not just like a blank ghost face. But this is a yellow zebra mutation, so it's evolving. So you see obviously the zebra skin, and then it just dripped out. Maybe has some radioactive candy floss, I don't know. And it's like little, I don't know, ties like that. But this body does look pretty cool on the other assets. But I will say as well, guys, just as I mentioned, again, like the Gen 2 is always supposed to be me in my most unrestrained form, but I also I just want to make sure that I'm not going too overboard. I'm trying to find the middle ground. So either tomorrow or on the weekend, I'll be running a poll where you guys are going to get to see some kind of quite full revealed Gen 2 pads. And I guess I just want like, your honest feedback on whether I should, moving forward, either dial it back a bit and rein it in, ramp it up, because, this community is, I can't do what I do without you guys. So I want to create stuff for you guys. So your input is very important. So just watch out for that poll. Final thing as well, guys, is Pineapple Pen. That's how you collect the poll out. It'll be live for half an hour. There you go. Indigo's already got his poll out. I sent a bunch of poll ups to Fura. I don't know which poll up it is that she's into something. Nice. Okay, cool. But other than that, guys, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the glasses. I'm pretty stoked how they're turning out. But other than that, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Watch out for the poll coming up. Pineapple Pen is the keyword for your poll app, and jump onto the safe space with Patty and Spicy and the girls if you want as well. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.